Hello everyone and welcome to our new Friday series. Well, the start of the new Friday series and to another challenge. I'll tap to see if the recording is going. So yeah, we're back, or at least, well, not back, we're here with the OG, the Final Fantasy, the first one. Though at least me, I've picked the Pixel remaster version on Steam, because I didn't want to emulate the NES version. Maybe this one will be a less archaic for some of you, but I do remember how the first one looked. Let's jump right to it. So, the thing about this challenge is I thought to myself, hey, why not do a single class party challenge? I'll go over the classes in a moment now, because yeah, the OG Final Fantasy is a lot different from the later installments, and that the first thing you do is to, well, pick your party. In the NES version it was the same. And for example, in this version you didn't have mana to cast spells. It kinda used sort of a weird-ass D&D-esque system, where you had casts. On certain levels you get more casts of a certain level of spells, so you have, was it 8? I think 8 levels of spells, and you could cast, for example, let's say, I think max was 9 level 1s, 9 level 2s, or then it was 8 level 3s or something. Don't remember the exact number, but you got casts per X levels. So that's a thing. And we have 5 basic classes, because we have Red Mage. 6, sorry, Red Mage and Monk. So I'll tell you first about all the classes. This is a single character, single class playthrough, so first off I'll tell you what we won't be picking. So, Warrior. And the Warrior is your bread and butter melee class. He tends to have one of the highest attack stats, because the Warrior gains primarily the strength stat. He can use almost all weaponry, and the same goes for armor you can find. He has a very good offense and defense stats, so he is a good person if you want to make a warrior to have on the first position, because positions in party, I think it was that they determined how often the character gets attacked. So on position 1, I think the character was the one that got attacked the most, from what I remember. So if you want a melee character, get him on, well, melee, a tank character like a warrior, get him on the first position in your party. Other than that, the warrior will use most of the weapons and armor you can find, but he won't do much else, unless, well, as long as he is a warrior, because in this game we also have advanced classes, but that's, well, maybe I'll talk about them right now when we have the class selection screen. So a warrior can advance into a knight, and a knight can learn up to level 3, I think, priest spells, so, or white mage spells, so nothing to call home about, but, well, useful. You'll mainly keep on attacking with him. And if you plan to have more than one warrior in your party, it can be costly to equip them, especially at the start, since, like I said, they can equip most things, so they'll be competing with each other for weapons and armor. So yeah, you would have to farm a bit of money to equip them both. He also only can utilize his basic melee attack command, so without the use of items, he won't be able to do much else, because in this game you can also use equipment as usables to cast spells. And you won't be able to heal yourself outside of potions. You know, so take that into account if you're doing a solo challenge, like we are, but if not, he is a very good supplement to every party. I guess I'll go with, I made some notes, so I'll go with how the notes are made. We'll go with Monk, or as it was named in the original Black Belt. So, the upside is that monks will cost you the least out of every character here, because monks don't utilize much weapons and armor. Basically, you want to start using weapons. They can use nunchucks, and you want to do that at the start, and I think they start to fall off about level 10 to 12, I think, or something like that. Then you can use your fists to get more damage, because at the start the fists scale. So at the start they don't do that much damage, you're better off with nunchucks, but later on, if you get a few levels in, they start pummeling with those fists like there's no tomorrow. They also have nice HP growth, but they're a bit squishy since they cannot equip armor in the traditional sense, you know? What else do I have noted here? Oh yeah, their biggest strength lies in the amount of hits, because in the first two Final Fantasies, your basic attack gets a number of hits to them, and the more hits, the more damage you do. So things like haste and all do contribute a lot to your melee damage. The same goes the other way around. If you get slowed, that debuffs you greatly, especially if you're running monks. They tend to rely on that number of hits for their damage. But when you train them sufficiently, they can pummel things into dust in no time, you know? They are a force to be reckoned with later, but at the start, they're very, very squishy. And their damage is low at the start. It is really low. So you gotta get those levels in. Yeah, also the advanced class. Here it's named the Master. I don't remember how it was named in the OG. We have Black Belt and we had... what did we have? Can't remember this one. I didn't run Black Belts that often. But the problem with their advanced class is they actually get worse growths as they advance in classes than they have at the basic class. So that's a bit of a conundrum. But anywho, they're not bad. And they tend to be a bit hard in the beginning, but later on they can pummel a boss in a few turns, if I'm being honest. They are very strong if you put the time and effort in, but extremely squishy and reliant on items a lot in the first part of the game, since you don't have access to a heal with them. If you have a white mage or a red mage, you can heal, but if not, you're chugging potions, man. And this will be the class that will be our single class challenge. We will be running a full party of monks. Next, what I have, a thief. Thieves are okay-ish. Honestly, they're not very good as a base thief. He can equip some weapons and armor on the light side, and weapons, yeah, a couple of weapons he can equip. But that selection gets better when he advances in his class. And believe me or not, the advanced class to thief is ninja. Yeah, for some reason thief advances into a ninja. Ninja is awesome. Not only they're fast, they can output quite a bit of damage with their attacks, but they also get access to level 3, I think, black magic, up to level 3 black magic. So that helps. You would think that it's not much, but level 2 is temper, and temper is a heck of a spell here in this game. It's basically a damage multiplier if used correctly. He cannot tank as much as a fighter does, and he has a slightly lower selection of weapons until he, well, advances to a ninja, but he's a solid class after the advancement. A solid class. But before the advancement, he's nothing that interesting to talk about, honestly. So yeah. Then we have one of my favorite classes, Red Mage. Red Mage is your kind of jack of all trades, you know, because he can somehow fight. He can also cast a bit of black magic and a bit of white magic as well. So he can do it all basically. So if you're looking for someone who needs to fill a plethora of roles, you have a Red Mage at your disposal, because why not? You know, he isn't a frontline fighter, and he isn't a nuker, like a black mage, but he can do some of those things. He won't be as good as a dedicated class, but he will do well. He will do well. But that also means that he is costly, because you have to equip a good weapon, equip good armor, and buy spells. Both white and black magic spells. So yeah, the problem with running red mages is that they're costly. But if you're running a white mage or a warrior, you might as well buy spells and weapons and armor, or find some that either your red mage can use, or if he cannot use, then your warrior could use this, so... Party composition here was quite a thing, and it was very refreshing for a first entry in the series. Next we have a red mage advances to a red wizard. The red wizard basically gets, if I remember correctly, access to level 7 white and black magic spells, so you don't get the top level, but you get pretty close. Other than that, it's okay. Now we have the white mage. White mage is basically a dedicated support class and a healer, mostly a healer. Basically this will be your... I advise you to, if it's your first time with a Final Fantasy game, I would advise you to run a white mage in your party. Because they are lifesavers. They can cure the party, they can raise stuff, they can cast some support spells, which in this game are quite handy. Especially elemental buffing spells. Because if I recall correctly, they buff your resistance to the damage type. It's been years since I played the first one, so don't quote me on that. And they can raise your party members, if I didn't say that. Oh, and that also means that by typical JRPG fashion, they also do a lot of damage to undead, because they use their use of holy spells. So... yeah, but there's always a con, isn't there? The con with the white mage is that, well, it's a mage, it's extremely squishy, so you gotta watch out for him. If he goes down, all of your healing capabilities go down, so yeah, be sure to keep him alive. And as if his spells run out, he can whack something in the head, but don't count on that doing much of anything, if I'm being honest. So, best bet is to keep him alive and conserve your spells. I think that's all. Yeah, advancement. He advances into a white wizard, which basically gives him a whole lot of nothing. And I'm honest about it, it doesn't give him much, he doesn't get that much better stats that they're worth the advancement. He gets access to all white magic, but he has access to all white magic. I don't think he gets any better weapons or armor. No, I don't think so. There is a class-specific armor, the white robe or white shirt or something. White shirt, I think it was in this entry. Unless they changed it to white robe in this version. And that's it. And then we have the black mage, one of my favorite heroes of the 8-bit theater series. If you know the 8-bit theater comics, you probably love the black mage as well. And unfortunately in this game he cannot backstab with a dagger. No, but he is a great nuker. He is a great nuker. Honestly, he can put the damage of the warrior, ninja and black belt or monk to shame with his nukes, especially if you get him the high level nukes. And he doesn't rely on hits, so accuracy or hit chance isn't a problem for him. He can simply nuke, and that's all. 100% of damage every time. But there was a bug, or I don't know if it was a bug or a miss or unprogrammed feature, that the intelligence stat, because there are stats here, didn't contribute to spell damage. And I think this has been fixed in this version, so yeah. Also, the damage is, like I said, is good, but also you can hit weaknesses, because there are elemental affinities here. And if you hit a weakness, oh baby, you're going. And the enemy's going, definitely. He has some spells that are not strictly damage-dealing spells, like Slow, for example, and the previously called Temper, when we were talking about Ninja. So he can buff someone, and he can debuff the enemies, sort of. And yeah, it's useful. It's useful, especially the Temper, but you just want to blow shit up, you know? You just want to blow stuff up as a Black Mage. For the weapons and armor, there's not a huge selection, but it doesn't need to be with his arsenal of spells. As for the advancement, he advances into a Black Wizard. He also doesn't get much out of that, and he doesn't need to. He gets access to the counterpart of the White Mage armor, the Black Shirt or the Black Robe, which is a useful armor to have. But other than that, it doesn't give him much. The class advancements for wizards aren't that impactful as they are for melee classes. So like I said, we're doing full monk build. So here we go. Let's go with Uther, our fallen hero from a different playthrough. Oh yeah, let's go Uther, let's go Nox. Yes. Let's go... Unfortunately, there are no female monks, so we'll go with all male party. Rico, in honor of the party that has fallen from the previous challenge. And we don't have a Goldie. He doesn't look like a Goldie, so we'll have to do a new one. So we have Uther, we have Rico, we have Nox, and let's have... Who shall it be? Who shall it be? Let's have Ray. Like Breath of Fire's Ray. Breath of Fire Freeze Ray. And we're done. Yes, I would like to do that to myself, game. Yes, I would. So, let's see the start of the game. And like I said, this is the Pixel Remaster version, because I didn't want to emulate this. I'll let you read and I'll talk in the background. And that has both pros and cons. The pro is, well, working on a newer system without emulation. Support for high resolutions, as you can see. What else? Diagonal movement, because that wasn't in the first entry. You would think that's a basic thing, but no, it was not. It was not. In the original, you couldn't run from every encounter. Now I think you can run from every encounter you meet. Magic you can buy even if you don't have a level that allows you to cast the spell. That wasn't previously available at the original. The max level changed. It's 99 here, and in the original it was... Don't quote me on that, I can't remember, but I think it was 50? Something like that, I can't remember that. But I know this one has 99, I read about it. We have better effects, better graphics, you can see that. We have the original spell system, like I said, that's sort of D&D-esque spell system, with spell uses on gained per different levels. And unfortunately, we have the newer stats and enemy stats values, the rebalanced ones that we have gotten in the Game Boy Advance version, the Dawn of Souls entry. We got that. And that means the fights are a little bit on the easier side than they were compared to the original NES Final Fantasy. We have the better soundtrack. I can put on the original soundtrack, but I got the arranged one here. Cons. Yeah, well, also we have better AI, some encounters work a bit differently. For example, there were some random encounters with bosses, like with the... what was it? The squid demons, the Pisco demons or something like that. They could vary in number. Here it's always the same number. And the cons. Well, we don't have the additional dungeons and additional items from the Dawn of Souls version. No OP stuff. We also don't have the videos from the PS1 anthology or collection. We don't have difficulty. There was difficulty in the Game Boy Advance version, I think. We don't have Mega Elixirs. There weren't a thing here. We don't have the MP system, because we have the OG use system, like I told you. All the additional dungeons, yeah, they're out. And I think that's all for those important things. So yeah, let's see the tutorial. Switch party member, move, page down, default speed, walk, run. Yeah, those aren't... I use a DualShock game, those aren't my... How do I close this shit? Those aren't my buttons game, I use a DualShock. And unfortunately that means I... What? Why? Why did it work like that? Okay, we have the map here. Okay, sorry. I need to get used to the buttons. Whoa, that's on X. Well, that's weird. Okay, so those are our dudes. And as you can see, we don't have much of anything. They have staves and they have claws, and that's everything they have. 13 attack, 3 defense, some evasion, and lousy accuracy. So let's go to the city, the first city of Cornelia. See, you can go... Yeah. Diagonal. Which is weird as heck, I won't be doing that. Man, that's weird. How do you talk to people? Miss? Shit, how do you talk to people here? Miss? Miss? Oh, like this. This is Cornelia, the city of dreams. Okay. Ah, shit. Sorry about that. Oh, crap. This sucks. I need to change the settings. Yeah. Yes, it will increase your attack rating, which is your accuracy. Yes, there are 4 types of armor. Yes, for some reason armlet is classified like that. Helms are worn on the head, that's right. Yes. Optimal, yes, there is a thing like that. Items. Carry potions, antidotes, yup. Stock up, yup, he is right. Sleeping bags, tents, and cottages, right. They allow you to restore HP and MP. In the later entries, you basically had only tents. In the earlier ones, you had tents and cottages, and in the early ones, you also had sleeping bags, which is a single character tent, which can only be used outdoors or on save points. Here, he only said outdoors, which is weird. I didn't remember that. Yeah. Key items, yes. He is right. Monsters? Tell me about monsters. That's right, monsters have different type of weaknesses. Yeah, things live in water, water conducts electricity, electricity hurts them. That is right. Yes, he is right. If I remember correctly, for example, blunt weapons did more damage to skeletal undead enemies? Don't quote me on that, I think that was like that. Black and white magic, yes. Yes, he is right. Though, like I said, black magic has a buff and a debuff in the list. Oh yeah, and there were only certain amounts of slots you could have per level, like in D&D, and in the original you didn't have a forget command. If you learned something and you didn't want it and you didn't have space, tough luck. Here they gave you the option to forget. Which could be useful, but we're not casting spells. This lady here is a dancer. She is a very useful NPC, because for now, she didn't say anything interesting, but later on, if you don't remember or don't know where to go, you can talk to her, and she will tell you in a way where your next destination should be. What crystals? What are you talking about, man? Did you smoke something? Ah, I can't. Is this a reference to Final Fantasy III? Hello, my good sir. Nunchucks. I would actually like to have some nunchucks, because they're better. We have 500 gil, so let's get nunchucks. And we'll use nunchucks for a few levels, like I said. And what about the armor? What can we wear? We have clothes. We can wear leather armor. I did actually not remember that. There we go. I would also like some items. Hello, my good sir. Whoa, wait a second. Okay. That's not good. Hello, my good sir. I would like to procure a potion or two. Ah, shit, 5. Let it be 5 then. We will actually... I'll tell you what we'll do in a moment. We'll leave that tent for now. What's here? Who's Lady Sarah? What are you talking about? Lady, come on. This is the church. If some of your party members dies, you have to go to church to revive them, because contrary to the later entries, inns don't revive your party members. You have to do it at the church, or cast a race, or use a phoenix down. Yeah, princess? So that's Sarah? Sage Lucan? Crescent Moon... What? Is he drunk? I can show you the spells here. We won't be buying any, because we can't cast spells. Sleep is very useful, if you can get it. Thunder will be useful, because you do meet some enemies susceptible to thunder. And other than that, depends on how much money you have. Cure is definitely something that's worth it. Blink, Protect, very good, very good. Honestly, white magic spells on the first level, all good. Shit. I will get used to this. Really. Or I'll change it. Because it keeps getting on my nerves. Yeah. Believe it or not, it has the directional buttons not on the X or the crosspad, but on the analog stick. Yeah, it's weird like that. Analog stick is not made for this kind of thing. Okay, we're equipped as best as we can. He does? Who are the Warriors of Light, dude? Who are they? Ah, crap. You go away, sir. What crystals? What are you talking about? Well, apparently we have some crystals with us. Welcome, King. I don't know, I didn't see any. Okay, apparently we do, and we're the Power Rangers, cause everyone's different color. Alright. Yeah, we can't be certain. Maybe I wanna bamboozle you. And take your money. What then? I mean, maybe those are just glass. How do you know that those are real crystals of light? Okay, what do you want, King? Really? That's what you need the prophesized Warriors of Light for? To save your daughter? Garland, you say? Okay, King, okay. I wonder why the shrine is named the Chaos Shrine. Probably nothing important. Probably nothing. You did? So he beat your asses. Huh. Oh, come on, man. Really? Really? Yeah, he is right. Yeah, they basically tell you, if you don't know what to do, go to the dancer for clues. Okay, King, okay. He is not the man you once known, that is correct. I don't think there are any treasures here, but let me check. I won't get used to the diagonal movement, no. Okay, Chaos Shrine to the north, got it. Let me check the recording once again, sorry. Okay, we're good. So, basically... Yeah, it's me. This game isn't easy. At the original one. This one is a bit easier. And the original one also had the old school encounter rate. For those of you who played old JRPGs know what I'm talking about. Okay, Her Majesty. Jane? Okay. Yeah, I'll bring Sarah back. So that means that you basically had a fight every few steps on you. Which was brutal sometimes, but that's the way it was back then. And it's not only this game that did this. So yes. And that also means that before we go to the Shrine of Chaos, where Garland sits, we unfortunately, this is the bridge, which they didn't repair because F it, apparently. They only remembered about the bridge when their daughter was taken. But okay. I like the arranged soundtrack. So we can go closer to the Chaos Shrine. In the original, if you went right away to the Chaos Shrine, you basically got your ass kicked. Yeah, you can see the number of hits here. We do decent damage with the nunchuck, told you. And basically what you wanted to do, this is the Chaos Shrine here. It's seen better days from what we can see on the map. You wanted to be level 5, from what I remember, before entering the shrine, because at the shrine there were... Oh, that's a lot of XP. You can see the monk has decent HP growth, which gets even better after a certain level. I don't remember which level had that certain growth spur of HP. I think it was 30? Or 20? Something like that. I think it was more in the range of 30. Oh shit, we have skeletons. Okay. Wasn't that bad. And the problem was also the boss battle at the Chaos Shrine. You wanted to be a few levels higher because of the boss battle. And as you can see, this game doesn't mess around. It can throw 5 enemies at you. Because why not? And this is how it will look for us with the black belts or the monks. I will keep calling them black belts because I'm used to Final Fantasy 1 having black belts. God damn it, the diagonal movement feels weird in such a game. Why did they insert that? We're doing decent and that makes me wanna check the Chaos Shrine. But I know that Garland will kick our asses. Also, I would like to have at least one tent. I think we can still use tents at save points. Also, I am being tempted to see how the encounters are inside. Seeing that we are doing so good outside. I thought skeleton were inside only. Oh, going low on one dude. Rico. Rico, as you can see, there's a degree of randomness here on your setups, because Rico had more HP than others. By 1 only, but he had more. Dang, Rico, what's with the HP? And Nox got intellect, for reasons unbeknownst to me. Ray also got HP. Can I... When will I learn? Can I... I can change the order. How about Ray? How about you lead? You know? How about you lead? Rico, you'll go... Let's do it like that for now. And let's go back for maybe a visit at the inn. So far so good. They're even doing decent damage. Surprisingly. The kingdom is quite close here, so going back for a quick recovery isn't a problem. 30 per night? Lady! Come on, that's a steal! Why do you charge 30? How much? God dang it, how much do we have? 200. Okay, tell you what. Let's go to the item store. Son, thank you. Let's go to the item store. Yes, yes, welcome. No. We will get a tent. Only one for now. And another potion. Okay, thank you, sir. Oh my god. Can't get used to those buttons. Then we'll go back towards the Chaos Shrine and I'll dive in maybe to get a little checky going in. Whoa, 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 whoa. I need to see which people are the most targeted and I'll rotate them biggest HP wielders, so to speak. Biggest HP users to those slots. One more fight before going in, thank you. Preemptive, nice. Good. He gives a lot of XP. Now, let's save. Thank you, save complete. And let's check what was in the shrine, cause sure as heck don't remember. Let's explore, because why shouldn't we? Black Widow. Let's pummel her with the nunchucks. As you can see now, the enemies here actually live through more than one attack. Oh, Mystic Key, you say? More than one attack, you say it's not bad, but remember that they can be 5 of them. Or more. So that could be a problem. Also, I definitely remember the enemies being harder in the NES version. Going here on this level, I would have problem with an all black belt party. Guess they weren't lying with that stat rebalance. Okie doke. Map is handy. Let's change the order once again. I want Uther like this. Because he has not much HP on him. Okay, everything is secured with a key. Come on. I know. Really? And when I changed his positions, really? I know where Garland is. Well, it's not that it's hard to guess. But I wanna go around and check. They didn't add anything. Also, let me check my notes. I love the victory music. I like old school Final Fantasies. They're actually quite good games. And they're very different from the ones that we know now. In a good way. They're very good games. You just have to... Yeah, told ya that there is probably something that's opened. And there was a tent. Oh, for wolves. Now let's see how this goes. Okay, Ray, tank it, tank it. One shot in. Not bad. Good XP. I think we can also open the south one. Gigas worm. I guess it's big for a worm and has a lot of defense. Oh, but we got a clutch critical. Very nice. Oops, overshot it. Goblin guard. Weak, because that's a goblin. Not much to do here. I'll gain one more level. Leather cap, interesting. I'll gain one more level. I'll go out to use a tent. And we'll see if I can take on Garland. Because as the king said, he was... I think it was the king. Or a soldier. He was the finest swordsman in the kingdom of Cornelia. Can we defeat the finest swordsman with our nunchuck power? That is a question we're gonna see the answer for right now. So, god dang it. So we're level 5. That's basically the level I wanted to be here. Before we... God dang it. Before I do that, Ray, can you equip... Yes, you can. The evasion will fall a bit, but... you ain't gonna evade a lot. Regardless. Behold. Resting. Yup. Oh, for the love of God. Save. Overwrite. And let us hand the smacketh to Garland. Oh, screw you, game. Screw you. Good. Good. You better run. You better run. Guys. Of course we had to get damaged. Of course. Okay. And this is Garland with what appears to be bats. You think you'll have no choice? Well, me. And I'm gonna kick your ass. Well, a Garland, I presume. Of course not. I'll be crossing nunchucks with you. Not swords. Ooh, I like the effect. This is honestly the first time I'm playing the Pixel remaster. So this will be interesting for me as well. I'm only used to the OG Final Fantasy 1. I swear to God, normally you wouldn't do that much damage with the nunchucks. They tweaked those values as heck. Cause I'm strong. You weren't that strong. Normally. Garland took seconds to take down. What the heck? And I thought this was gonna be a challenge. Huh. Maybe it'll get harder later on, when we'll get enemies that can nuke us and things like that, so... Yeah, it's only the beginning, so... Yes, I've come to rescue you. Thank you is a good try, princess. Hard to imagine that. You guys must suck at Cornelia. Okay, but what's with the bats and what's with that glowing thing? You're not gonna tell us. You're not gonna tell us. No problem. How do you know that? I just defeated Garland. Maybe you suck here at Cornelia. Oh, for the love of God. Yes, yes, we know that. What shards of light? What darkness? King, are you smoking? Okay, so we're going to the crystal, I guess. Yeah. Well, thank you. Hurrah! Can we go now? Okay. Why would he? Yeah, we got a loot. Does she tell us anything about it? Jesus, princess. Take it easy. With whom of the four of us? Okay, so I'll speak to the dancer, so you'll see how that looks. Also, unfortunately, I don't think we can open the shrine doors for now. Yeah, cutscene, I suppose. They're hard at work. Yeah, you kinda have to repair the bridge finally. You guys are fast. I don't know if I can trust this bridge. Well, they're doing good. Also, the loot is a key item. Gonna use that a bit later. And they're done. How long did it take you guys? I have to go somewhere. Thank you. Now. For the love of God. I will get used to those. I promise. I will go to the inn. The shops don't update. That doesn't work like that in the early ones. Also, let me show you. Crossing the bridge, yes. Teehee. Yeah, they had to do a joke in between. Because, I don't know, because they have to. I guess if she only told you where to go, she would be like a manual. And that's kind of besides the point, since you have gotten a manual with the game, if I recall. Okie dokie. So, north there is. And, yeah, the shops don't update if I recall. Cool cutscene. I cannot click this faster. This is the intro. Yes, the quest has begun. And apparently we felt overwhelmed by the great task that had been placed before us, which the king basically told us shit about. They told us to go save the world. Thanks. They did not even know the true significance of the crystals. Yeah, no one told us, to be honest. The crystals that once, long ago, held a light that shone so brilliantly that everyone was blinded. No, no, there weren't. The time for the journey had come. Time to cast off the veil of darkness and bring the world once more into light. Yeah, son. Yeah. Can we go now? Can we? Nope. No button works for that. Sorry, guys. Had to sit this through. No button works. Believe me, I'm trying them all. We're good now, game? We're good? Game? Thank you. Thank you very much for that. And fight. Smack him. Honestly, the new soundtrack is a banger. I love it. So first off, we're going straight ass north. Here. Whoa, that's a lot. I didn't remember we can have 9 of them. That's an eye-opener. Didn't remember that. I didn't remember we can have 9 at once. Dudes, can I do something? Oh shit. Oh shit, those are free. Oh, 4? Really? So you know what? Gonna do it differently. Gonna make it so that we have less targets. Whoa! Those hit a lot. Huh, I did evade. Gonna go like this. Gonna defend. I'm gonna take the goblin guards out. Thanks. Oh, dude. Oh, come on, dude. That was not very cool of you. Finally done. Those had a lot of HP. Yeah, that's what I was talking about the encounters. We're gonna go here. To a certain Matoya's cave. Matoya is a witch. And an important one at that. Eno Lidna Leknak. Swish Swish Aru. Okay, whatever you say, Broom. Lady? What happened? What? What? What's with your eye? You poked yourself? Lady. Yeah, she had her eye stolen. Because apparently she can see with a crystal eye and not a real one. Yeah. We're not getting much from her aside from the fact that we have to find that eye. She is an important NPC. So I'm just checking those out of habit. Yeah, and we came only for this, only for the eye. And then we have to go east, where you saw us a while ago. Crap, a while ago. But first off, I will use the potions here. There we go. Ogre? Oh shit, you guys hit a lot. And eat a lot of attacks, to boot. Whoa. Wait, the worms hit as hard as the ogre does. Even harder. Yeah, that's the problem with the monks. They will get hit. And they will suffer. Unfortunately. Can't do anything about that. Well... Could have been better. Could have been better. Nothing we can do about that as well. Now, eastwards. Through here. And we should be able to get to the next town. Which would be Pravoka, from what I remember. And if you were reading what the NPCs in Cornelia were saying to us, one said that Pravoka had a pirate problem. So I guess we'll need to see what's that problem about. What pirates is he talking about? Went south and now east. I think east still, yeah. Okay, ogres give decent XP, so mine as well. And they're only one. Tanked it. Good. Very decent XP, I should say. here we have a city. Ooh, dude has defense on him. Does he have the HP then? Well, yeah, it's still decent. Good. So before we go in, I'll get one more fight in. And we're at 55 minutes. So, I'm kind of wondering if I should go... No, I think for starters, we'll end this here. I spent a lot of time talking to you about the differences, about the classes, etc. So that took us probably 20 minutes or so. Good. Nice, nice. Although I would like strength, but thanks. So yeah, I think we'll end this here. We got the start of our adventure. So might as well get a save. And I think we'll meet on the next Friday, but we've established what we're playing. We established the premise of our challenge is to beat the game with only a full monk party. It could potentially be hard, depending on how this rebalance was done, that I don't remember correctly. It's been years since I played the Dawn of Souls version, and I think that the rebalance on the enemies is based on the Dawn of Souls. The problem is that we get the rebalance in the base game without the super hard bonus dungeons that were in Dawn of Souls to counteract the rebalance and give you a challenge. So I don't know how this will end. Honestly, if I knew this would be such a difference, I would maybe start a full thief party or a full mage party, I don't know. But regardless, we are the full black belt party. We have only the might of our fists and the speed of our legs to help us in battle. For now. So how will this go? Stay tuned and find out. Thank you for watching me, thank you for tuning in to the next challenge, and have a marvelous weekend. Thanks, bye bye. Cześć!